So can you tell me about the time when you disagreed with a PM? Of course, that's a great question. So PM, PM. Okay. So PM, who did I work with? When did I can't think of anything. Oh, come on, I'm running out of time. Please. Let me think of something. Oh my gosh, I'm out of time! Welcome to my biggest nightmare, where I just simply don't know what to say in a design behavior interview. I am not a naturally charismatic person. I'm an introvert. I don't sell myself well. As a matter of fact, I don't sell anything well. So if you ask me to sell this pen, sell me this pen. It's a pen? But there is hope. A behavioral interview shouldn't be a pop quiz or improv performance. A little bit of prep can go a long way. If you do this right, you'll never go blank in an interview again. When I was at Webflow, I get to hire my whole team from scratch. And that's really cool experience because I got formal training. How to hire fairly, how to hire right, and how to hire inclusively. So this experience has changed how I view design interviews in general because now I have seen the other side. Behind every job rec, there is a rubric. Teams weren't searching for the perfect answer or the most charismatic candidates. They want to see evidence for these rubric items. Real story that demonstrate how someone thinks, work, and collaborate. Not hypotheticals, stories. When you share a story, it's very easy for someone to spot a lie because your answer would be very vague. You can also tell if someone has less experience because they also can't go into the specifics for a certain scenario. They'll stay, again, high level and vague. You can easily identify the green flags and red flags as they describe their actions in detail. So, rule number one for a good behavioral interview answer is to be as specific as possible. In my last video around design portfolio presentations, I talked about how a good portfolio pitch can land you a job offer despite even average performance in behaviorals. And that's a true story. So when I was interviewing at Amplitude, I was asked to share a time when I disagreed with an engineer. I was stumped. I couldn't think of a single instance because, to be honest, I wasn't that experienced and I really hasn't worked in depth and closely with devs in my previous roles. My response was vague. It raised a red flag for the interviewer. So that just goes to show you, even though your portfolio and your technicals can be the deciding factor, behavioral interviews are equally as important, or at least you need to not raise any significant red flags. So now you understand how interviews works and how you are graded. It's time to talk about how to nail these behavioral interviews. And to do that, I use a framework called MAP. That stands for M, match the rubric. A, articulate a story. And P, package with structure. So first of all, you need to understand why the interviewer is asking you that question. Are they probing for ownership, communication skills, collaboration? Your answer needs to map to one of those rubric. Because if you're not hitting what they're asking for, even if you deliver a TED-worthy conversation and response, and that won't even help. They simply won't have any evidence to check their box. So, very important before you answer any question ask what the interviewer might be assessing. And if you're not sure, just ask. I'm serious. I think this is the pro tip of interviewing well, which is it's okay to ask questions. If you don't understand the intention behind, you can ask the interviewer to clarify these questions. Or even better, you can give a short answer and check in to see if what you shared is what they're looking for. Activate a real story. So the best way to answer an interview question is to share a specific example. And that can be really hard. You might not be able to remember the instance that's the perfect fit for the question quickly, concisely, and under tremendous amount of pressure. So the best thing you can do here is to build a story kit. I have built out this story kit in Notion that you can download, but you can build something similar yourself as well. So when you encounter something at work, I want you to simply come back to this database and log the story. And then tag it with an appropriate category, set a reminder to come back to review your stories either weekly, monthly, or after every project you complete. And bonus point, you can even keep track of interview questions and tag them with the same interview categories to keep track of all the interview questions that you've been asked. Package with structure. The delivery of your answers also matters. You need a way to prevent you from rambling or blank out. One of the most popular framework recommended for this purpose is STAR: situation, task, actions, and results. I personally prefer PAR, which is very similar but is problem, actions, and results. So I like it better because as a designer, I'm a natural problem solver and it's easy for my brain to think about the situation. But it's up to you to use whatever framework, and the key here is use a framework. If the question you got asked is, tell me about a time you disagreed with a PM, and you can structure your answer like this. So we were planning on a feature that added friction for onboarding in my mind. So I took the initiative to draw out some alternatives, and I ran a guerrilla user test with 5 users to test out both versions, and clearly my alternative solution was better. As a result, we launched the simplified solution, and that reduced the drop-off by 30%, and also I gained a significant amount of trust during this process as well. Imagine you now have built this database of stories and you practice to deliver them. Now every time before you go into an interview, you can then simply research the company values and look at the interviewer's job title and figure out what might be some of the things that they might be looking for. For example, if they're an engineering leader or if they're a PM, they're probably looking for your collaboration skills. And then you can go into your story bank and filter all the stories based on that category. And then just simply review that and refresh your memory right before going into the interview, so everything stays fresh. And this story kit you're building, they're not just for interviews. They are incredibly handy during your performance review to build your case for promotion. It is a habit that compounds. So if you are not a natural storyteller, I get it. Me neither. And that's why systems matter. Don't wait until you are sitting in the interview hot seat to think about a good example. Download my Notion template and practice using MAP. Thank you so much for watching. This is my final episode that I planned for the Beat the Gloom series to help you find a job in design. So let me know what else could I be of help. I'm happy to take requests in the comments. If you're job hunting right now, I just want to let you know that all the hard work that you do does pay off. So best of luck in your job searching. I am here rooting for you. You've got this.